I want to give a quick shout out to Next Level Nutrition. Southgate Plaza, West Seneca. Go see JoJo over at Next Level Nutrition. I'm excited. This evening, I have my man Justin Militello, free agent signing Atlanta Braves, who are struggling a bit right now, man. But listen, we know that we have a stable of pitchers, coming up in the works here. So what's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. I'm super happy to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward for a good conversation.
Yeah, dude, my pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks. You have a very specific story here. You rolled the dice, kind of, right? Is it safe
hmm
to say, man, you Kenny Rogers gambled it a little bit?
Yeah. So my story is actually pretty crazy, honestly. So it all started right before my senior year summer. My junior year, I mean, I was a great pitcher, man. I was filling up the zone, throwing strikes, getting outs, but 86, 88 is not really going to get you any professional looks, right? So junior year, I committed to a school in Michigan, Eastern Michigan, with
Okay.
my actual twin brother, who's a catcher. Caught me every game my entire life up until pro ball.
That is
But
wild.
so yeah, committed there my junior year. Didn't really think anything of it, and then off season hit, and me and my brother kind of just decided, like, we always worked really hard, and we were in the weight room, and we made a lot of gains, like in the weight room specifically throughout high school. But like senior year, we were like, all right, like we might as well give it everything we got here. So we hit the weight room and the training like exceptionally hard my senior year. Then I came out my first bullpen and I was up to like 94, like pretty easily. So I made like a 6 mile an hour jump up to 94,
That's
posted it on
substantial,
Twitter.
man. That's
Yeah.
substantial from non-work. Sorry to interrupt you, but from non-pitching workouts, just from lifting.
Yeah. So it was straight strength. I mean, I was throwing every day, but there was no like, oh, mechanical stuff. It
Right,
literally, and
right.
that's the one thing I could say to any kid is like, if you want to throw hard, like get really strong and really fast. Like if
Yeah.
you can jump high, run fast, and lift a lot of weight, you're going to throw hard. So
Thank you for saying that because all these
yeah.
kids, they don't know the recipe. And I have an 11-year-old son, a 9-year-old son, a 5-year-old son, and I'm preaching, man. Hopefully, I got all three of them in the show someday. I'm excited to hear this story.
Yeah, yeah. So you're 100% right. I mean, at that young age, like it's all about loving the game, right? Like playing
Yeah.
wiffle ball, playing with
Yes.
baseball cards,
Yes.
right? So,
Yes.
but yeah, so I kind of hit a little bit of a number in one of my bullpens and kind of got connected with an advisor through that. But then honestly, didn't really think anything of it. Like a lot of guys throw that hard. So kind of went through, had a great senior year, had a ton of fun playing with my brother for one last year, getting prepared for college. And then I get an invite to an East-West All-Star game at Comerica. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, cool. Like, let's go do it. So I go in, I'm pitching like the seventh inning. They're like, all right, you got one inning. You'll get like one AB. Much to people's chagrin, I actually did hit in high school. I was a decent hitter. I was going to hit at Eastern Michigan,
Yeah.
but I wasn't. I just had power. Strikeout machine, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
75 miles an
A
hour. I'm getting
straight up
blown out.
slugger,
So
right? It's a strikeout or
exactly.
a home run.
So I go to this All-Star game, and I get my inning, and it's an All-Star game. It's in Comerica. Juices are flowing. I'm like, all right, we're letting every pitch eat. I'm throwing as hard as I possibly can.
Yep.
I end up sitting like somewhere between like 93, 94. I think I might have touched a 5, but I was blowing hitters up. Slider was really good. I think I punched like two guys, gave one walk, and then yeah, kind of just didn't think anything of it. I was like, well, that was fun. Everyone's like, wow, I've never seen that out of you.
Right.
So that was cool. And then I got a text from my school advisor. Now, keep in mind, this is a little caveat. I was homeschooled my entire life.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
from when I was in kindergarten up until senior year of high school, I was homeschooled. I did online in high school
Okay.
through our high school so I could play baseball. So getting a text from a school advisor was like, I've never talked to you before. Like, I don't really know who you are.
That's a
He's like,
huge
hey,
caveat, man. That's a
yeah.
huge caveat because
Mhm.
you're the first person I've spoke with ever who has done that. Now, did the whole family was everybody homeschooled? Your brother too?
Yeah, so everyone in my family was homeschooled their entire lives. Both my parents actually were teachers,
Okay.
and then they retired early, and they just raised us, and
Yeah.
we were homeschooled. So
Well,
yeah,
who else?
I
Who
actually
else to
never
teach
went
you,
to a
right?
real class in my
Who?
life.
That's wild. That's
Yeah.
wild, man. And wow, that's like mind blowing. That's one of those mind blowing emojis because not only and then you were about to bounce into college.
Yeah.
Right. And that
Yeah, it
wasn't
was.
online stuff. So you were like taking a
Yeah.
plunge there, dude. You would have been like, where am I? A different world, right?
I always joke because my twin brother and my sister are the smarter ones in our family. Not to say I'm not intelligent, right? But my brother's exceptionally smart.
Okay.
So when he got to college, it was like easy. He's like, all right, A's all across the board. Like he did not struggle at all. My older sister, she played softball at the University of Utah and Michigan State.
Okay.
Didn't struggle in school at all. So maybe I would have been fine. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when I talk to them, they're like, you would have struggled. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right.
Listen, man, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. It's
Yeah, absolutely.
you manifested this, and so you have that. You get this call from the advisor, and did the what would the? I guess it's interesting that the school advisor would call since you are homeschooled. Did someone reach out to the school because they didn't,
So
know you were homeschooled?
Yeah, so I'm actually not totally sure how that happened, but all I know is they reached out and they were like, "Hey, they're gonna come watch you throw," and I was like, "Perfect." It's summer ball at this point, so I'm playing for my summer ball team with my brother, and I go out and throw, and Scout comes out and watches me throw for 3 innings. I did pretty well, and then kind of packed it up. I didn't really think anything of the draft. Draft came and went, didn't get picked. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to school, and then this is where it gets kind of crazy. So 10 days after the draft, now you know anything about free agent signings? 10 days after the draft, that's pretty significant time passed.
That's almost
Right?
unheard of.
Yes.
Yeah, you're already planning. They're already setting roster. Yeah, man,
Yeah, that draft mini camp is almost over at that point.
yeah.
So I'm actually sitting up north with my family, and I barely have any service. And I get a text at like maybe 12:30 at night. My family, you're from Buffalo, so you might know this, but you ever play euchre?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. My family's playing euchre, which
Okay,
is kind of a
yeah,
northern
yeah, the
game.
card
Like
game,
a lot of these southern guys don't know what that is, but euchre.
Oh
is
yeah,
a
I know
great game.
euchre, bro. Yeah.
But yeah, so they're playing euchre, and I get a text from my agent, and he's like, or well, advisor at this point, and he's like, hey, like there's an offer on the table. We should talk about this. And I'm like, it's August 4th at this point.
Okay.
And I look at my mom, I'm like, I don't know what to make of this. So end up kind of talking about it and talking to the Braves and stuff like that, and end up like deciding like, hey, like let's sign, like let's do this. Flew down the next day, and then that's kind of like this how it started. It was pretty crazy, honestly, super unexpected. Like the only way that I can explain it in like a good way is it was a God thing, like complete just a blessing in my life, like to get that opportunity. So yeah. That's kind of how the whole everything kind of came about.
There's just the universe working out, man, and just things happening the way they're supposed to happen. That whole story is wild. The 10 days is really interesting.
Yeah.
Now, when the scouts came out, what was it? There was a couple teams, right? Or no?
Yeah, so there was a couple teams interested, but the Braves were really the only team that reached out.
Okay, so were the Braves the only team that scouts out, or the only team that afterwards reached out?
I think that's the only team that I know of. I know there were some other scouts to watch me throw a couple other times, but like nobody that I knew of, like nobody was wearing like a hat. I knew the guy from the Braves was there because he had a hat on, and he was the only other guy there, and I was told that he would be there.
So did you fly down to Northport or to Atlanta?
No, I flew down to Northport. I signed my contract here and then got on a plane and flew down here and just joined the guys for a mini camp.
Okay.
I was in mini camp and then through well, and then I ended up going to Augusta, which is our low A affiliate.
Yep.
At the end of the year, I think for the last 2 weeks.
So now this was where, I had to actually do some research. I'm obviously very well versed in, low A, high A, double A, triple A, MLB, but there's FCL or basically now what is this squad, and break this down for me, man? Like what is it?
So the FCL is the rookie ball. So it's like the bottom level. It's pretty much a development league.
Yeah.
I threw in that last year. I came off, so I had a full season Tommy John in 23 at the end of March. I came back.
Hold on, time out again.
Yeah.
That was after the signing, everything else. You threw a year and then had TJ?
Yeah, so I threw for about 2 months, and then I went home from the off season, and then I got hurt in the following spring training in 23. So I signed in 22, got hurt in 23. Tommy John's about 14, 15 months usually. So I came back around the middle of the year, the following year, and I threw in the FCL for 2 months there.
How are you throwing now after surgery? I hear a lot of people tell me, man, I talk to a lot of athletes. TJ is almost something now that's like a rite of passage for a pitcher. How are you throwing now after the surgery? I've heard some people say they went up a couple ticks. Are you right where you were?
So when I came back, I really struggled just finding
mentally or throwing.
I would say honestly, all of it. Like all of it, I came back, and I've always been like strike thrower. Like that was my thing. Like I threw my fastball in the zone. I kind of struggled to find that, kind of struggled to find the feel for everything. And I mean, the guys here are awesome. The coaches here are awesome. And
Did
they,
pitching feel different, Justin? Did it feel awkward?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt actually a lot different for the first few months. And then I got an off season under my belt. I had a good 6 month off season and I came back and I've ever since the start of spring training, I've felt completely normal. So
Good.
yeah.
So now the plan is to send you back to Augusta, or are you pitching inter squad, or what are you going to be
Yeah.
doing?
So right now I'm building up to 5 innings to kind of have like a hybrid role as a starter and reliever, kind of piggybacking and stuff like that. So I'll build up to 5 innings and then go to Augusta.
The facility down there in Northport, man, is second to none. I've been down there
Yeah.
3, 4 times. We've been down, on the diamond to watch BP and do some stuff like that. And they're just it's not only an amazing facility, but from what I understand, the organization is just phenomenal.
Yes, I mean,
And
from top to bottom, I mean, I can say without hesitation, like everyone in this organization treats everyone exceptionally well, from our coaches to directors, excuse me,
sorry.
coaches to directors to player development, front office.
Braves are arguably the best at scouting pitchers. I think one of the things, man, I mean, listen, the Braves have found pitchers from cracks in the earth, dude. Like they just find them. They find these pitchers, and their track record, of going out and finding these guys and grooming them to play is second to none. Now, obviously, injuries unpreventable, but knock on wood here, you went through the TJ, and now it's show and prove. Right now,
Yeah.
do you feel now confident that you can just go show your stuff, continue to develop? I mean, not everything is speed. Sounds like you got a little arsenal of pitches, right? And even 94 to 96 to 98, you just keep building that strength, because a lot of it is speed, of course, right? But if you have a few different pitches in your stable, how do you feel right now with confidence and kind of with where you're at? You're young, you're 21, right?
Yeah, 21.
So how do you feel confidence wise about where your trajectory is going to take you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, like when it comes to the confidence aspect of baseball, that's something that I've always had pride in. Just like I always think I'm better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I love that attitude.
my confidence has always been really good. Right now, I feel really good. So basically, what I'm throwing right now is I got a four seam ride, like pretty flat, and then I throw kind of a sweeper slider.
Okay.
That's anywhere from like 83 to 87. And then I'll throw, I don't know if you've heard about the kick change.
The splinker?
No, actually, it's kind of similar to that. It's a kick change.
Okay.
So you're seeing it around baseball a lot. Like I think Andres Munoz throws one. He throws like 92. But basically, you just throw a changeup and you add a little spike at the top.
Okay.
Kind of gives you some more depth. So I added that to the arsenal this year. So
What do you call it? A spike change?
it's called a kick change.
A kick change. It sounds like a kick change. Obviously, when you're going to take a little bit back with the change, but to have one still coming with that velocity is pretty strong pitch, man. Does it just show a little? Is it harder to read?
Yeah, it's interesting. It kind of, the reason they call it a kick change, and this is there's some baseball kind of analytic lingo for you.
Yeah.
When you throw it, your middle finger is spiked, right? So when you throw it, it kicks the ball to spin like this, completely sideways, which then gives it depth.
Are you flinging it?
Honestly, I'm just thinking I'm throwing it as hard as I can. Like I kind of grip it. I'm like, I'm whipping this thing as hard as I can, and hopefully it does something cool, right?
No.
But yeah, kind of just kicks it on that like a complete sideways axis, like a UFO, right?
Yeah.
And then that, because it's moving sideways like this, it's just going to shoot straight down. So it's kind of a depthy changeup.
When you start pitching a pitch like that, or any new pitch, will you actually start from maybe 30 feet, 40 feet, or will you go right into it? Number one. And number two, are you just trying to throw it a lot lighter to try to adapt to that pitch, right? Like when this kick change, right? You didn't come out, get to the mound, and just start whipping it, did you? Like,
no, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, okay. All right.
No. So basically, like, especially for this off season, I kind of added it to my arsenal. It starts in catch play. Like you kind of just are like, you're 60 feet away on a flat ground surface, and you're kind of just feeling out a grip for it, feeling everything on the ball, like what feels comfortable, what doesn't, what kind of gives you the results you want. I was actually messing around playing catch, kind of finishing up my catch play in the off season. And one of my buddies, guy that signed with the Orioles, Ty Weatherly, he was like, "Hey, I've been throwing this new pitch." And I was like, "Let me see it." And he threw it to me. I was like, "Yeah, that's pretty dang good.
Okay.
That's pretty dang good. So I was like, let me try that. And I threw it and it's pretty good. So I kind of messed around with it in catch play. And then this is right when we started moving into bullpens in our off-season training program, and looked back at the guy running the track, man. And I was like, we're going to try something out here. Like, let me
Yeah.
throw this. Threw it, ended up being really good. And I was
Good.
like, okay, now it's just about locating it, right? So worked on it in the off-season, and I came to spring training, like able to locate it, throwing it with good shapes. It's been a great pitch for me so far.
Good, man. That's exciting. I mean, obviously, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. When you know the more pitches you're able to throw, man, and with success, right? It's,
Yeah.
there's some guys, that I've spoke to throughout the past year or two that might have an 86 to 88 fast, but they're 5 or 6 pitches,
And for strikes, right?
and for strut. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because they wouldn't even be in. I wouldn't even be interviewing them if they were, because it's only 86 to 88. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they got to be accurate. But the curve too, like a lot of these guys are throwing some wicked curves, and I guess you need something to stick out to make yourself different from everybody else.
Yeah. Interesting you say that, because the one thing that's been the biggest surprise for me in pro ball is like you see some guys that like not your normal typical like pro ball guys, but they just do one thing exceptionally well.
But
Or they
that's
do
kind of what I was getting at.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they do one thing and you're like, "Oh my gosh." Like they do that thing, and whether it's like an outlier pitch or it's like the way that they throw, or like an out just one thing that's just absolutely outlier, and like they are just exceptionally good at that one thing, and that's why they're here.
You're 21, man. You got the whole world in front of you. As far as like you can just go show and prove. It's got to be honestly, and I don't want to go inside your head too much, but it's got to be almost less pressure. Does that make sense?
No, I 1,000% agree with you. And like it's funny you say that, because I think it's 100% a mindset thing. It's more about how you view yourself than it is about what your actual age is. Because at the end of the day, if you're 24 and you're like, man, my time's passed, like I'm just not good enough yet, like I'm never gonna be good enough, you're never gonna be good enough. Like, because you don't believe it.
Yep.
If you're 25 and you're like, I'm going to be a professional baseball player and I really don't care what anyone else says, well, you've got way better chance of doing that just simply because of the belief aspect, right? Like, I'm a huge believer in that. Like, the more belief you have in yourself, the less pressure that you bring. And, it's like, I always say like confidence and preparation are kind of like the same thing.
Yeah.
The more you prepare, the more
I
confident you
love
are.
that. Yeah.
There is no pressure, because it's like no matter how long it takes, I'm gonna continue to, grind for that top spot,
Yeah.
right? For that to be on a 13-man roster in the big leagues, right? So for me, it's like there's not a ton of pressure, because it's like it's not an if and or but. It's like I'm gonna do it. It's just
I
long it
love your
takes.
attitude, man. It's contagious
So,
too. I wish more would have it, man. You're not even saying if, it's when. And
yeah,
that is what I preach to my kids or any, if I'm coaching travel or whatever. It's not if, it's when. It's contagious. It's, you want that positivity rampant through a locker room, dude.
hmm
I would take a roster of Justin Militellos with that attitude, seriously. And I
I
love
appreciate
hearing it,
that.
dude.
Thank you very
No,
much.
straight up. I love hearing it. Let's get into a couple of fun questions, man.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm
We'll
ready.
get you thinking a little bit. If you could go
All
100
right.
years into the future or 100 years into the past, what one would you do and why?
Okay. Okay. This is actually super easy for me, right? I'm huge into tech, man. Like 100 years in the future, without a doubt, I want to see what's going on. I want to see where AI is. I want to see what kind of gaming consoles we're rocking, right? Like without a doubt, without a doubt.
It could get a little scary, man. Remember the first Terminator? I don't know if you remember that in the beginning, where the whole thing is like the robots fighting the humans. So it could get a little intense. 100 years from now, who knows what's going on?
Like final answer, no ifs, ands, or buts. 100 years into the future, let me see what's going on. You're right. It would be scary, but I gotta know.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to do both. I like to
Yeah.
hear other people's answers. I'm
Yeah. What
still up
about
in
you?
the air.
What's your answer there?
I don't know, man. I'm a history nerd, but I guess we've already seen it and it's already happened. So I
Yeah.
think I'm
See?
with you. Like
There we go. All
you
right.
know what I
Let's do
mean?
it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I think I'm with you. All right,
It
you and
might
I
be
are hanging
scary. We
out.
might not come back, but it'll be fun.
We might not come back, man. You and Trent are hanging out. We're at your house. We order a pizza. What toppings you going with?
Okay. This is tough. Being Italian, I feel like there's some answers that I absolutely cannot have.
Some gabagoo. Some
Yeah,
gabagoo.
it's just from an optics perspective, right? I'm gotta just go with like a Supreme. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Supreme. Just
Yeah.
give me the peppers, give me the onions, give me the
Okay.
sausage, give me the pepperoni. I'm all for that. That's,
All right.
unpopular opinion, and I might get flamed for it, but
No, I
that's
don't
the
think
best,
so,
best of
man.
the best. That's the best of the best,
You
in my
didn't say
opinion.
anchovies. You didn't say pineapple. So no,
If
you're still
someone said,
cool.
pineapple is an abomination to
Nobody
pizza. I
said it
just,
yet. Nobody said it yet.
okay, good.
So I think so far we're good. I had Pearson Olan. Pearson's a really
Okay.
cool dude with the Twins organization, and we had like a little frozen pizza bracket. It was the NCAA time, so he had Red Baron winning. It was like we squared them up. What's your you got Freshetta, Giorno, the Tonys, the Red Baron. Where are you going with that?
Okay, just for the sole fact of like the variety, because it's brand, right? Like it's the top brand, correct?
Yeah,
DiGiorno, that you can get any type of pizza in DiGiorno.
yeah.
Like you can get a
Stuffed crust.
flatbread, you can get a stuffed crust, you can
Yeah.
get a rising crust. Like Red Baron salad, not DiGiorno though. Okay, good.
I'm with you. I'm actually a Freshetta guy, but I do dig what you're saying with the different variations. They
Don't
have like,
sleep on the Costco ones. The Costco frozen pizzas are
yeah,
solid. Solid.
okay. Tombstones were good back in. I don't know if they make those anymore, but the
Oh,
Tombstones
they
were
do.
solid. They
They
still
make
rock the
them.
Tombstones.
Oh yeah, those are the go-to in high school, man. Got all the
I'll,
buddies coming over, grab 4 of those, and you're good to go.
I'll say one thing to you, man, and I mean this sincerely. They would not. You wouldn't still be on the roster if they didn't believe in you. You're one of the guys now, right? So if you're 2, 3, 4 years in, trust me, man. If they didn't like your stuff, you wouldn't be there. You'd be packing your
Hmm.
bags. And
Absolutely, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because after the injury and stuff. So I love your confidence, and I mean it sincerely. They know what they have in you, bro. And,
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
and your attitude too is really cool. And I think that a lot of the times there's you, and then there's the guy who might be a tick or two better, but you're the guy with your personality and stuff, and the other guy's packing. So that
Mhm.
don't change who you are with that, and just keep rocking and rolling, man. I really
Yeah.
I mean that sincerely. Last question. You can have dinner. We're setting the table with 3 people, past, present, not future, although we did go into the future a little, and no family. Okay,
Okay.
so who would you have? It could be any musician, actor, anybody of all time.
Okay. All right. This might take this.
It's a tough one.
This is really tough. Okay. Number one, I'm gonna have to pick Justin Verlander. Favorite pitcher of all time.
Okay.
When he was with Detroit,
Yep.
I was the biggest Justin Verlander fan. I tried to mimic my mechanics
Yep.
after Justin Verlander.
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly right. So
He's
Justin
the,
Verlander is
he's the
number
oldest.
one.
They're
No,
like
no, they
trying to
keep
throw
turning
you
up.
out.
I'm gonna go with Ronald Reagan just because I'm
Wow.
really interested in that time period
Yeah.
and to kind of like figure out like what was going on in that period. I would love to talk to him.
Dude, he was a brilliant guy, and
Yeah.
some say best president ever. He had a lot of similarities to Abe Lincoln and stuff. And again,
Mhm.
being a nerd like I am, man, Reagan was that's a great answer, dude.
Christopher Nolan. I gotta go with him. I love Christopher Nolan movies, man. That like any movie he comes out with, it's automatically in my top 15.
Yeah,
So
that's
we gotta
wild,
go
man.
Christopher Nolan.
I have one of those. Denzel Washington's like that for me. But
Okay, that
he's my guy.
he's
But
my top 5 favorite actor of all time. Christopher Nolan, Ronald Reagan, Justin Verlander.
now picture
We're
that
getting
dinner.
steaks.
Now picture
We're
that
getting
dinner.
steaks.
You guys are all chilling. You're eating a Costco pizza. This was a lot of fun, dude. You're definitely you're a super raw, authentic guy, man. Thanks for taking some time with me. I certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. This was awesome.
I agree. Thanks a lot, bro.
See ya.
Bye.